months.
How long was your hair at this point?
It was like past shoulder length. It wasn't ridiculously long, but it was long.
So it would have been okay if you cut your hair and didn't get a job?
Correct.
You could have stayed?
Correct. Because that was the... Well,
cut your hair.
The whole point was that was the
initial step.
That was me compromising to try and make myself more presentable to get the job.
Yeah,
so she gave me one of the two.
Your mom got you coming and going, my friend.
Exactly. And so she went with this. By the way, her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Thanks for ruining my life. Making me cut my hair. But
making me born.
So when I was I didn't meet the ultimatum. So I got thrown out of the house.
No.
And I actually lived in a friend of ours' car for a couple of weeks. And when her parents would go to work, I'd go into her house and take a shower. But I would sleep in the car at night for a bit.
The rumor you was telling.
And the rumor was, as this was happening, as I'm trying to squash things with my mom and get myself back home without getting a job or a haircut, my ex-girlfriend called my mother and told her, your son is all effed up. He's getting high all the time.
Sleeping in a car.
He's on coke. He's a mess. And this is before I ever did coke or did anything bad in my life. Like I was a pothead at that point. And
so where's the false rumor?
But that's what I'm saying. I didn't do coke yet. So there's the false rumor. But yeah, it was that was probably the worst rumor about me. I think you were probably looking for something a little more happy and lighthearted.
Well, the rumor was that you were on drugs. That was the bad part. But because you were homeless.
Right, but no, the rumor was from my ex-girlfriend that didn't like me, saying it to my mom, making it so I couldn't get that. So she spread the rumor to my mother that I was all screwed up on drugs as I'm kind of begging my mom, hey, can I come back home, please, without cutting my hair? And the punchline to the story is I wound up moving in with my grandparents after that, and my mother took me back in home, and after I moved back home, that's when I cut my hair. Because I had to be...
You made the decision.
I had to be so tough and cool. Teen angst by a jerk.
Brian, you got any rumors spread about you?
I was trying to think of one. I can't really I think Quentin Tarantino said I sucked.
Speaking of no, that's not a rumor. That's based in fact. Back at when we were back at our company that we used to work with together, our buddy Joe and I were convinced that Brian was on coke. We didn't really spread a rumor. It was between me, him, and we would say it to his face. So that was kind of a rumor. Why do all my rumors revolve around coke?
It was kind of strange. I was taken aback. Like I barely knew these guys. It's like they would constantly look at me and come over. It's like, you're high right now, aren't you?
Oh, see, that's
you just
the worst.
did coke. I cannot believe you're high. You came to work high on cocaine. You freak.
You should be like, dude, you're ruining my high. Get away from me.
Yeah. Ironically, that guy Tom that I was talking about earlier with the Acme account, he thinks that about another one of the people that we work with now, and he calls the guy Yayo.
You should try to have a conversation, get him to have a conversation with the guy, and see how many times he could say "yayo" in the conversation.
Yeah. Well, the guy's starting to get mad about it. It's like, all right, seriously, you got to stop this because people are going to start really believing that that's true about me.
That's why I was a little worried about that too, because other people would come into the room and you'd be like, but I can't believe Brian's high right now.
Yeah, but we were doing it amongst the four of us. This is also the same place where we defecated in a room at work.
By we, you mean you.
Right. Well, it was all of us, as part of a team effort.
I'd like to put $10,000 into this company. May I talk to Mr. Yayo, please? Mr. Yayo, how are you? I think people said I used to have girl parts when I was in grammar school, some BS
what do you
like
mean?
that. I mean, I'm
Like
trying to
the
think of the
naughty
worst.
bits?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the worst rumors, but I guess that one hit closest to home.
When I was I think it was 5th grade, we had a 5th grade teacher. The rumor went around for some reason that he pooped lettuce. He didn't poop, he pooped lettuce. And a couple of us, me and this
There's a whole new meaning to tossing your salad.
Me and this other dorky friend of mine got some lettuce and went to the teacher's lounge and just spread lettuce all over the floor of the bathroom to try to make it go further. But it was the teacher's bathroom, so no kids ever saw it, so it really didn't go anywhere.
Oh,
but
man.
Somehow everyone was convinced that he pooped lettuce.
That's a pretty good rumor.
It's a weird one. It was a weird one.
That's pretty absurd. It's absolutely absurd. Strangely, staying on the whole drug tip, there were rumors for years, Fred, that you were a drug addict, that you were a junkie, spread by the junkies that wanted.
Oh, that I was a heroin junkie?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was told you were a heroin junkie.
I've never done heroin because I stayed so slim. I was very slim in my younger days.
What happened?
I don't know.
What's happened since then?
No idea.
Oh, wow. What about shoe on the other foot? I'm doing the fat jokes about Fred now. What the hell?
But really, that was a rumor about me? That was really a rumor that I was a heroin addict.
Well, by the biggest drug addict that we all, by the biggest heroin addict that we all know. We mentioned I was having a conversation with him one day, and it was asked. Somehow we were talking about your name came up. I was like, oh yeah, but he never did that. He's like, oh, that's what you think.
No way.
So it's like, what? Really? I'm like, Fred? That doesn't strike me as being accurate at all.
Two drugs I never did a heroin and coke. That's the 2 drugs I've never done.
What a marvelous guy. You put your cocaine in my heroin.
You really missed out. I was going to say, it's a shame. By the way, you're listening to Best in Show, bestinshowradio.com, exclusively on TPX Radio, where you can join us. Call us on the hotline, 877-744-6405. Or get us on the Instant Messenger at Best in Show Brian or Best in Show Chris, which I haven't looked at my Instant Messenger in a while, so just do Best in Show Brian because I've never remembered to pick it up. There was something I wanted to say in here. There were rumors. There was a perfect segue, and I went right past it.
There were rumors.
The Fleetwood Mac record?
Yes, that was performed by Schlong at Neary's.
Nice. Schlong did the Punk Side Story. They did a cover of West Side Story, the whole musical.
Right, they did the album.
It's great.
It was called Punk Side Story, and it's just all the songs from West Side Story done.
Maria!
I'd like to hear I Feel Pretty.
Yeah, I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty. It really is actually pretty damn funny.
I'd like to hear that.
But they would always do stuff like that, and they're amazing musicians too. Very, very but they're dirty, filthy animals.
They're called Schlong.
I know you wouldn't.
Is
You
it the
wouldn't think.
Schlongs or the Schlong?
No, Schlong. Schlong is the
Schlong?
name. Yeah, and Schlong did when they played at a club on Staten Island that's now gone called Neary's. They opened up with, all right, this is Fleetwood Mac Rumors, side B. And they did the whole second half of Fleetwood Mac Rumors as one song. They finished the entire thing in about 6 minutes. It was the funniest thing ever.
That is great. And what happened? They recently played? What did they do? They did the Rumors thing just recently? Or you just...
No, this is like in 1993 is when it's...
Were they just a cover band? Were they like Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, but they would
No. They did shticky stuff like that, but they had regular songs of their own too. They were a pretty good band, from what I recall.
Schlong. I gotta check them out.
Check out my Schlong. I got it for you. It's I got some of their records. Hey, wait a minute. Double N10 Drews. But so I also want to throw out there, if I'm not mistaken, Vanessa is also not going to be with us today. Is that correct? Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
As the 11:30 hour draws on, I'm noticing that now would be about when I would say, okay, now I could regroup, figure out what we're going to do after the Vanessa call, and realizing, oh wait, that's right, it's not coming. She actually said it on the air. Oh, you weren't on the show last week. That's right. Yeah. This show is becoming like a revolving door now. This is starting to get bad. People just not showing up. I don't know, man. Maybe it's time to give Runner a call. What? Vanessa, thanks so much. Great, fantastic call as always.
That was pretty good. Actually.
You can get her at blogspot.vanessacheatwood.com.
No, I think it's vanessacheatwood.blogspot.com.
Yeah, I just click on the link on our website.
Yeah,
that's what I would do if I was you too.
Speaking of drugs, I saw something.
Oh no, come on! We were going past that.
Oh, right.
We were taking it to the wholesome part of the show. No. Speaking of drugs, what do you got?
Drugs.
I was watching on.
Like you stopped him dead in his tracks by saying drugs. Like, hey, wait, bro, come on.
I was at a family function a couple of days ago, and one of my cousins who was underage was drinking.
Uh-huh.
But like not underage like 11, like underage like
2.
between like 16 and 19.
That's fine.
Now, what do you think? But the parents were there. Do you know what I mean? But they weren't. They only had one.
Did the parents know?
One drink. It was like a glass of wine.
A white wine spritzer.
Did the parents know?
Yes, totally.
Or was he in the back?
Totally.
All right.
So I'm just saying, when do you think it's
boy or girl?
Boy.
Okay.
So when do you think
Straight?
it's right? Yeah, straight. As I think.
For a boy to drink in the house under the parents' supervision, 14.
14?
Not to get drunk, like to have wine with dinner if they wanted,
exactly.
stuff like that, 14.
Do you think...
even girl, 14 is fine. I was trying to make a joke and make it like it was the age of consent thing. It's
35
not.
for girls.
Yeah, no, 14 is fine with me, I think. I'm sure my wife will be really pleased to hear this.
Now, do you think it teaches them how to drink more responsibly if you're doing it at a younger age?
No.
No,
I just don't think that alcohol's all that dangerous that we should have to worry about keeping it from children that early. Like I said, if they're going to get crazy drunk, as long as under parent supervision, they're not going to get stupid drunk. 14, 15. I probably was drinking wine with dinner by the time I was 13.
Yeah? Your parents let you have a glass of wine?
Yeah, a glass of wine, but they always used to make me put wine in Coke. which is a very disgusting. It's a disgusting Sicilian thing.
I've never seen that happen. My cousin